Spider-Man Brand New Day has finally released, and the whole world is celebrating it. I already uploaded my review yesterday, sharing whether I liked it or not. If you have time, go check that out. In this video, we're going to break down the post-credit scene of Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you haven't watched the movie yet, please watch it first and then come back to this video, because this is going to be completely full of spoilers. We're going to discuss every single character shown, so consider this your spoiler warning right at the start. I also noticed some people who watched the post-credit scene and didn't understand it, complaining why did they even bother putting this post-credit scene. But if you actually understand what that post-credit scene means, you'll realize its real value, how much it's teasing about something that's going to happen in the future. Only those who understand it will really get that value. So if you are full of questions about it, I'll try to break down and clarify every single detail in this breakdown. Without further delay, let's get into the video. But before we dive in, drop a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit subscribe. Now let's get into it. So basically, at the end of No Way Home, Doctor Strange's spell causes the entire universe to forget who Peter Parker is. Meaning, everyone forgets that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Even people who knew Peter Parker forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. They forget Peter Parker himself entirely. Even all the memories they had with Peter Parker get erased. Which means, essentially, it's like everyone is discovering for the first time that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. All those memories are wiped. Even people who spent personal time with him, those memories are gone too. But apart from that, at some point, if these people ever needed help and Spider-Man happened to save them, they retain just that one memory of some anonymous, unknown person as Spider-Man helping them, with zero memory of who's actually behind that mask.
You might spot a few plot holes here. If you have any doubts, drop them in the comments section, and I'll try my best to clarify. So, because of this memory that Spider-Man saved him at some point, Ned believes that one day he needs to find this Spider-Man and personally thank him, show his gratitude. Basically, Ned is like Spider-Man's biggest fanboy at this point. So, in order to find him, what does he do? He creates something called the Spidey Tracker app. Everyone downloads this app, and wherever people spot Spider-Man, the app instantly updates in real time, showing everyone using the app where Spider-Man was last seen, marking locations with "Spider-Man was spotted here" updates. This entire post-credits scene is built around this app concept. This app is actually based on a real website that exists in real life too. You can go check it out yourselves. It's called Spidey Tracker, and they've been using it for promotional purposes. If you check it out, you'll see markers in red and green colors. Red markers mean rumored sightings, meaning an unconfirmed rumor that Spider-Man was spotted at that location. It's not confirmed yet. Someone just claims they saw Spider-Man there. Only once it's confirmed does it turn green. So, wherever the app confirms Spider-Man's actual appearance, that's where you'll see the green marker. Green means confirmed, red means rumored. I'm explaining all this because it's important context for the post-credit scene. But at the same time, forget the actual logic of how this app works for a moment. Set aside how I explained the app functions, because for this post-credit scene to make sense, someone would need to have actually spotted Spider-Man to update the app. But forget that logic for now. You'll understand why as we go. As for why they used the Spidey Tracker app, specifically in the post-credit scene, they wanted to use this interface, this concept, to deliver a slightly more innovative post-credit scene. So set aside the actual app logic for now.
So, the post-credit scene begins, and we see the Spidey Tracker interface. There's already a rumored sighting marked in Queens, since everyone already knows Spider-Man, Peter Parker, basically lives and operates in Queens. There's already a rumored sighting marker there, something like, "He's probably here, this is where he lives." Then we hear a voice from the app, and it's Ned's voice, since Ned is the one who created the app. So naturally, he's the one who recorded the voice for it. Like a trained AI voice model, a notification pops up. "New Spider-Man sighting found." A lot of people who watched this with me initially assumed, oh, this must mean new Spider-Man, as in Miles Morales. Since Miles is also in Queens, they thought maybe a new marker appeared there specifically hinting at a Miles Morales setup. But that's not actually what they're implying here. New Spider-Man sighting simply means they've spotted Tom Holland's Spider-Man in a new location. If you read new Spider-Man sighting in isolation, you'd naturally think of a different, new Spider-Man character. But Marvel isn't implying that here at all. It just means a new sighting of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, someone spotting him again somewhere else. But where exactly is this sighting located? The location shows as unknown. Gradually, as the map zooms out, it keeps shrinking and shrinking until it zooms out completely past the entire Earth itself. The location simply can't be pinpointed on the map. And then it becomes clear. This sighting isn't even within the world at all. It appears to be located somewhere far out in outer space, well beyond Earth, because there's a kind of glitching effect shown in the middle of the transition. The location essentially spawns somewhere randomly in space. My first reaction when I saw this was, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is no longer on Earth. Oh my God, he's gone somewhere else entirely. That's why this new sighting randomly spawned somewhere completely unrelated out in outer space. Again, going by the app's own internal logic, nobody actually traveled into space to spot Spider-Man and update the tracker manually. They've just used the tracker's interface conceptually to convey this idea. So this new sighting essentially spawns a location suggesting this is where Spider-Man currently is, somewhere randomly in space. How did he get there, you might ask?
My personal theory is that the TVA is the one who took Spider-Man away because the TVA has been shown recruiting different types of heroes before. We saw hints of this in Deadpool and Wolverine. We've already discussed a lot of theories about this on the channel before. This could very well be happening again here. I've talked before about the possibility of the TVA taking Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and it seems like that's exactly what's happening here. The reason he's not going to be part of Doomsday might be exactly this. Someone has taken him away from Queens, or from Earth itself, to somewhere else entirely, probably the TVA. That's likely why there's that glitching effect shown in the middle, representing him being pulled randomly out of space and time. And outside of space and time is exactly where the TVA is located. The TVA exists outside the multiverse itself. That's exactly what this post-credit scene feels like it's implying to me. Tom Holland's Spider-Man has been taken by the TVA. He's now inside the TVA. And I believe all of this is happening under Loki's orders. My theory is that since we'll need a team to fight against Dr. Doom in Secret Wars, Loki, being the one who could form such a team via the TVA, might be recruiting Spider-Man for that team. That's what I felt the first time I watched it. Or alternatively, simply put, this could be setting up a lead-in to Secret Wars. Dr. Doom is going to create a world called Battle World, and that's presumably where Secret Wars' story will actually take place. Similarly, once Battle World gets created within the MCU, this post-credit scene might be confirming that Tom Holland's Spider-Man will end up there. That's exactly why I brought up the TVA angle to explain how he might end up there. So this mostly seems connected to Secret Wars. Notice they specifically wrote Spider-Man will return rather than Spider-Man will return in Avengers Doomsday, so this is probably setting up a lead specifically towards Secret Wars instead. So this post-credit scene, to me, is either teasing a future event where he ends up in Battle World, or it's simply indicating he's currently been taken to the TVA.
There could be other theories floating around too, of course. Here's a second possibility a lot of people have been discussing. Many fans are theorizing that this Spider-Man sighting is actually referring to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and that this is teasing an upcoming incursion between Tobey's universe and our Earth 616 universe. That's not an unreasonable theory either, because if you actually go to the Spidey Tracker's official website and look closely at those red rumored markers, none of them actually feature Tom Holland's Spider-Man. They show various different Spider people instead. Basically, fans dressed up in Spider-Man cosplay and took photos, and those photos got used as the placeholder images for those rumored sighting markers. It's only the green, confirmed marker that actually featured Tom Holland. So green markers are confirmed Tom Holland sightings. Red markers are unconfirmed. Essentially, everything else shown are just various Spider-Man variants. Think of them like parody versions of Spider-Man. So it's not unreasonable if people, seeing that logic, jump to the conclusion that this could be Tobey Maguire's universe. It's not clear whether they were thinking through all this app logic carefully, but understandably, seeing a location appear in outer space, fans might naturally think it must be Tobey Maguire. And honestly, who wouldn't want to see Tobey Maguire again? He'll definitely be showing up in the next 2 upcoming movies regardless. If he doesn't, that would honestly be a crazy oversight on Marvel's part. Definitely, in the next 2 Avengers films, there's a very high chance every version of these characters shows up. That's actually what I'm personally waiting for too. But specifically regarding this particular post-credit scene, this specific location, this specific sighting, I personally feel the chances of it being Tobey Maguire are quite low. Also, if you look at every single MCU Spider-Man film's post-credit scenes, they've always specifically set up Tom Holland's own Spider-Man's future, never randomly connected to something completely unrelated. They've never teased a character from a different film's continuity out of nowhere. It's always been building toward his own story specifically. In the first film, they teased the Scorpion as a future villain. In Far From Home, they revealed who he really was and set things up for the next film. Even at the end of No Way Home, they teased Venom, hinting that the Venom symbiont would eventually bond with Spider-Man within the MCU someday. So every single one of these teases has always been specifically building toward Tom Holland's own MCU Spider-Man storyline, nothing else. I feel this post-credit scene follows that exact same pattern. It's specifically about Tom Holland's character. But I also don't think they'd randomly tease Tobey Maguire completely out of nowhere in this particular film with no connection at all. If they wanted to do that, they would have done it in No Way Home. This film has no real connection to Tobey Maguire at all. I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man has simply been taken off Earth to somewhere else. That's what this post-credit scene means to me. On the other hand, remember the glitching effect shown in the middle? It resembled the glitch effect from Into the Spider-Verse. So there's another theory floating around that this might actually be teasing Miles Morales instead. Yes, to be fair, when you look at those glitching colors, it did resemble the Spider-Verse style glitch effect. But just based on that alone, we can't necessarily conclude this is specifically teasing Miles Morales. Miles Morales doesn't even exist within our own MCU universe. That tease was already set up back in Homecoming instead. So I don't think there's much chance this is specifically about that. I could be wrong. I'm not claiming what I'm saying is definitely what's going to happen, but this is what we've been discussing on this channel for a while now, that the TVA needs to form a team featuring legacy characters like Tobey Maguire, Deadpool, Wolverine, and possibly Tom Holland too. We've theorized about this before, and this feels like exactly what's happening here. It feels like he's being taken outside of space and time based on how this scene wraps up. I could be completely wrong about all this. If you think I'm mistaken about something, let me know in the comments section. If you feel this isn't what's happening and it's actually something else entirely, share your thoughts in the comments too. I'd love to learn as well, and let others weigh in and figure it out together. So that's essentially everything I personally think about this post-credit scene. This is what I believe is likely happening. Beyond this, there's still a lot to discuss about the overall ending of the film, like whether Ned actually regained his memory of Peter Parker, or if he just recognizes him now, where Jean Grey and the others are headed, what's going to happen to them, what happened with Bruce Banner's ending. There's a lot more to talk about regarding this film. I'll do a separate spoiler talk video for all of that. For this video, I wanted to keep it focused purely on the post-credit scene breakdown, because covering everything else would make this video way too long. I'll cover all of that separately in another video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. I hope everything I explained made sense to you all, and that you enjoyed it. If it made sense, let me know in the comments. If you liked it, drop a like. I'll see you all again soon with another interesting video.